Hi, and welcome to New England B2B's Three Questions With. Got my friends Robin and Barry Fleischer with us. Good afternoon, guys. Welcome to the show.
Good afternoon. Great.
So today, I want to talk about one of my favorite topics is mediation. Because I remember the first time you said this to me, you told me about mediation. I tilted my head and I said, my God, why doesn't everyone do this? So let's start at the beginning, though, before I get too far in. Give us a little bit of a background about the firm. Tell us about the Fleischer Law Solutions.
So Fleischer Law Solutions is a full-service family law firm, and we concentrate on mediation. We also provide litigation for contested divorces and also for high conflict custody and any other post-divorce issues, modifications, contempts. We're located at the Cumming Center in Beverly. And what else would you like to know about the firm?
So from here, like I said, I'm finding that anything family related is really getting stressful right now. With everyone being home, custody issues, they're just seeing a lot of tension coming up. So if people have that, hey, things are getting tense, we're trying to figure out custody, it's just, I don't want to joke about it because it's not funny, but I've seen some people, knowing, okay, when this ends, my marriage is ending too. I've had a couple people, you can see that clearly coming. So the best bet is to reach out to you and make a plan.
So, well, I am more of an optimist, and that's when we can segue into mediation. There's a lot of stress. There's a lot more stress right now because of COVID, but if this stress was always there, mediation right now, which is a form of alternate dispute resolution, if people don't know what that is, it's not binding. It uses a neutral person who can be a lawyer. Many times they are a lawyer, but my co-mediator, Barry, who you'll meet, is not a lawyer. It is a way to facilitate communication and allow the people to try to solve the problem themselves outside of court. I've always, because you know me, I always advocate, try to keep people out of court, because in a divorce or any agreement, if it goes through litigation, it's the judge, the state, who's going to decide your assets, who gets your children. Now, there are certain situations and it has to go through the court, but if people can sit down and agree to communicate, often a divorce can be mediated. Facilitators can help you solve the problems right through the communication, and many times you can get what you want or close to what you want at half the cost. And we employ at Fleischer Law Solution co-mediation, which is a little bit unique because most people do have sole mediators, and I would just like to bounce it over to my co-mediator, Barry, and he's going to explain the benefits of co-mediation as opposed to just having the more traditional single mediation.
Oh, hey, Barry.
Well, with the co-mediation, it tends to be more conversational. The couple's able to really get things out on the table. We have two people listening, and of course, we're neutral, so we don't give advice. We're trained to listen and to kind of get their thoughts organized in their minds and get what their wants, needs, and desires are, what would work out best for them. And when there's two people, there seems to be, it kind of releases the pressure a little bit somehow, because you're having a conversation and you're working things out of things, get a little tense or a little, with two people there, it seems to mitigate the tension quite a bit, as opposed to one person and maybe one person walking out.
And there's also the feeling is sometimes with one mediator, one party feels that person is sort of biased. When you have two, that eliminates the bias. We work very well together. We are husband and wife, and we feed off of each other. We bounce ideas off of each other. And of course, mediation is confidential. And in a mediation, you can enter the mediation at any time. Many times during a litigated divorce, and I do this all the time because I represent people also when they're in litigation. They'll be stuck on an issue and the attorneys are just fighting and it's just getting crazy. And many times the attorneys will say, let's go mediate this one issue. I don't know, say it's parenting time. And many times taking it away from the lawyers and getting a neutral can resolve that issue. So I don't want anybody out there to think, oh, well, I've already started my divorce. I can't go through the mediation process. Anytime. You can at any time. And it's non-binding. And you're in the middle of it and you don't like it, you stop. That's the beauty of mediation.
Yeah, I definitely like that concept. I like that you're a husband and wife team too. As you mentioned, it's good when we have one of each, so that if someone does feel like, well, of course the woman's going to side with the woman and the man with the man. So and now for this to work, you just have to be civil towards each other.
Well, first, okay, it doesn't work for all people. And if people want to go to my blog, I've written a couple of articles on that. You have to at least agree to be civil, to be able to stay in the same room with each other. People that have restraining orders against each other, sometimes that's, that's already an indication. Have to agree to be open-minded. If one person is very stuck on a position and just refuses to compromise, it may not work. Do you have any ideas?
Yeah, if this is where if people get stuck on an issue. Well, first of all, when they come into the office, where mediation works the best is where people kind of agree to respect one another and to work these things out. If they're fighting before they come in and these things are just coming to a head, sometimes mediation won't work, but many times couples, the fact that mediation appealed to them, they've agreed to communicate, they don't want to go to lengthy litigation with a judge, they want to tailor-make their own situation legally, and they're able to talk things out in a way. If you need to take a break, if somebody's positional, you take a break, you come back, and many times you're able to go forward and make a compromise. And that's really what it's about, is one side compromising with the other.
And I was just going to say one benefit where we are not only co-mediators, where we have the model with is the lawyer non-model, lawyer non-lawyer model. I am able to see legal issues. I, as the mediator, will not give you legal advice, but if somebody is asking to do something that I know you can't because that's not in the law, I can tell that person. Also, where Barry is not a lawyer, if I go into that lawyer mode and I know how to solve your problem, he's able to take it over and say, no, I'm not here to solve the problem the way I want to do it. We're here to try to get the couple to agree on something that's going to be the best for them. And it just seems to really work out, and people seem to really like it.
I have one follow-up question. Can we use mediation for business disputes too?
Absolutely. You can mediate anything. Business disputes, contract disputes, many of the disputes that end up in small claims can be mediated. Absolutely. Mediation is a beautiful thing. It's because we have found that most of the court arguments of anything is because people don't communicate. People don't pick up that phone or the Zoom and say, hey, look, can we talk about this before we agree, before we sue? It's communication, and mediation, it facilitates communication. Like we said, it's not for everyone, but if anybody thinks that it might be right for them, before we even book a mediation, we talk to the people and we decide if it's going to be right for them. Because I have had people that have called me and I'll say, I'm sorry that you aren't right for mediation. So all I can say is it's worth a try, and we do have that unique model, and we find it very successful.
Now, I get one more question. We also use it in family. Like, I think I've seen someone use it because they weren't getting along with their children. So
Yeah.
they actually went to mediation. You go, okay, this isn't working. The child's not liking the parents, parents not liking the child. We can take that to mediation too, right?
Well, you can take anything to
Yes,
mediation. Why don't
anything.
you?
Actually, I think people use mediation throughout their daily life, and many times they don't realize that
We
they've
do.
worked something out. And if you're of a mind where you want to work something out with somebody, you tend to mediate anyway. And that's the kind of people that when they hear about this, say, yeah, that's something I think I could work out. Again, unless they're in such a battle with the other person, it may not work. But if you're the type of a person who can work things out and your emotions are in check, then it's a very beneficial thing. You save money on lengthy litigation, and you tailor make an agreement that works for both of you.
It's meant to be non-adversarial. So so it's like it's a safe place. And many times when there are lawyers involved, and I've been on both sides of the table, the lawyers are not there as adversarial. They're there to advise their client of the legal ramifications. It's always worth a try. And as Barry said, a litigated divorce can cost anywhere between 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 35, $50,000 and up. And it's worth it. It's worth trying to mediate, especially if there's only a couple of issues that the people are disagreeing on.
If it's too complicated, I mean, it may take longer to do. Everything's doable.
Yeah.
Just again, it depends on the couple themselves, if they're able to
Right.
communicate and keep things nice and friendly.
Yeah.
Awesome. So how can we reach out to you? How can we learn more?
Well, you can go to our website, www.robinfleischer.com. You can call 978-871-2928. I answer the phone. I believe in phone contact, or you can send us an email, robin.fleischer@robinfleischer.com, or they can always reach out to you, Kevin, because we're on your website and you can connect us.
Great. I really appreciate both taking a few minutes to jump on the show. And as always, thanks for being my friend.
Thanks, Kevin.